I would like to speak to the teenagers. The teenage years are from 13 to 19. After 12 years old and before 20, there are 7 years in your teens. The teenage years are the golden years of a human being. These 7 years are golden and crucial. They are a deciding factor for your whole human life. You may have been careless, sloppy, doing nothing, and even bad when you were 12 or under. After you are past 19, you may still try to do something bad, although that is not right. During the 7 teenage years, however, you should not do anything wrong. If you do, that is awful and terrible. It is risky. Do not waste one day of your teenage years. Every day, every hour, every minute, and every second have to count. I mean this. 7 years are not very long. Very quickly, your teenage years will be over. If you do not build yourself up within these years, you will be finished. It is needless to speak of other things. This is the case even with education. If you cannot do well in these 7 years to lay a good foundation for your human life, especially in your education, you will be through. If you fail in school, it will be hard to redo it. Even if you try, it will be almost impossible because your teenage years will be over. Keep in mind that the teenage years are your golden years in every way. Strictly speaking, if you do not build up a good body within these 7 years, after 19, you will be too small and weak. If you expect to be in good health and have a good body, you must do something within your golden years. In these 7 years, you have to be busy, even in exercise. If you try to enter a medical school or law school, they may check with you to see how much exercise you had in these 7 years. If you say that you did not have any exercise or participate in any sport, the school may not take you, even if your grade point average is 4.00. In your human life, there are many aspects, including education, health, your body, morality, ethics, and your relationship with the Lord. Of all these, your relationship with the Lord is first. Even this should be built up while you are a teenager. You should love the Lord, seek Him, and pursue after Him, particularly in these 7 years. After these years, it is hard to have a proper start, even in seeking after the Lord. This is also true in learning a language. It is hard for anyone over 19 to learn another language. They can never do it properly. I would say that after you are past your teens, you can no longer do anything like this. Do you want to get the best grades? Do it during your teenage years. Do you want to love the Lord in the top way? Do it now, because after your teenage years it is hard to start. After the teenage years you are good for beginning nothing. Therefore, love the Lord in these years. Joshua once extended a day by commanding the sun to stand still. The way to make the sun stand still is to treat one day as if it were a month. Do not finish only 1 day's work in 1 day. You have to finish 30 days' work in a day. In this way, you will spend 1 year as if it were 30 years. You have to endeavor, strive, struggle, and labor in seeking after the Lord, in reading the Bible, in loving the Lord, in praying, in praising, and in everything. How much do you pursue after the Lord? If you say not much or not enough, you are not very wise. The smartest young person is the one who always treats 1 day as if it were 30. I mean what I am saying. Do not waste an hour or a minute within the 7 years of your teens, especially in loving the Lord and seeking after Him. You have probably heard of Watchman Nee. When he was young, he made up his mind to read the New Testament 52 times in 1 year, that is, once a week continually for a year. Eventually, he became a living New Testament. This means that he treated one of his days as many days and 1 year as many years. I give you this example so that you can follow it to do the same thing. This will never waste your time. Even going to exercise is not a waste of time. You should budget your time, your energy, and even your breathing. If you do this, you will not miss anything in the spiritual realm, in the spiritual kingdom. You will get what you should get. So many Christians meet defeat simply because they did not lay a good foundation in so many matters. Look at the world today. Many people in the United States have become nothing. They are just a living entity, breathing, eating, and sleeping. They have become nothing because they did not lay a foundation that was good enough for them to be successful in their human life. This is also true in the spiritual field. If you expect to have success in the spiritual field, in seeking the Lord, you must treasure your golden years, your teenage years. Do everything you can. Get into the Bible as much as you can. Pray as much as possible and function in the meetings with as much as you have. Exhaust yourself. Try your best to do this.